So from everything we've heard, it seems like this offseason is going to be crazy. Obviously, Kevin Durant, the Giannis rumors that have kind of died down a little bit, but that's still, everyone's still watching that. Desmond Bane just got traded. Now everyone's wondering, is Ja available? Is Jaren available? I think we're going to hear about Sabonis. There might even be some slight LaMelo rumors in there. It's going to be a crazy offseason, which to me screams an opportunity for a team to really sneak in here and make solid moves and maybe buy low on a very good player. And I feel like this offseason can be a very good second draft. What do I mean by that? We see a lot of players that either get taken very high or show a lot of potential early in their career and don't really pan out to be that player. But it's usually very hard for the team that took that player to now rein back the expectations, to now rein back the role. But they clearly aren't going to be this franchise player. They're probably not even going to be an all-star, but they're still very good NBA players that in a different role can be amazing role players. And the most recent examples we have of this are Andrew Wiggins and Aaron Gordon, where by the time they were traded, there was no longer any illusion of them being these star-level players, but they would make for amazing role players if you could get them in your system to buy into exactly what you need them to do. Now, Aaron Gordon and Andrew Wiggins are very specific cases because they actually had a chance to showcase themselves as the number one option. Usually, there is a different route. Like a perfect example to me would be Kuminga, right? Not this Kuminga, but let's say Kuminga goes somewhere, gets a pretty good deal, but it's pretty clear he cannot be one of the best players on your team. Now the next team that's going to trade for Kuminga and potentially get a bought-in Kuminga into this specific role, you guys get what I'm saying? Like Wiggins and Gordon kind of skipped that step because they had the freedom of showcasing what they can do, and it was clear they couldn't be that guy. Where you look at someone like Kuminga who hasn't had that opportunity yet, you look at someone like maybe Josh Giddey, if that doesn't work out, you could see them being elite role players on their next team, right? You could see them really helping out a contender on their next team. And those are the players I'm really talking about today. And I want to start with DeAndre Ayton. Do you see what I mean? Now, DeAndre Ayton was already a very good role player on a very good team, but he went to Portland. He thought he could do more. Now it's clear you're not that guy, DeAndre Ayton. And I believe DeAndre Ayton's next team is going to get a really good player with less expectations. Now, with DeAndre Ayton, I'm not exactly sure what team that would be. I really would love him with the Warriors, but the Warriors can't trade for him with Kuminga's deal because of salary cap reasons. But whoever gets DeAndre Ayton knows exactly who he is. They're no longer expecting some jump. They're no longer expecting you to come here and be a more physical player, a more bought-in defensive player. They're not expecting that. They probably just need 20 to 25 minutes of you being a very good NBA player, being a very good scorer, having great touch around the rim, getting boards, blocking a couple shots, hitting a couple mid-range jumpers, playing your role. And again, the Warriors would be such a great fit. They need a big, they need more scoring. Ayton provides that. He's not a complete non-spacer. Like, he can play 20 minutes and Draymond close at the 5. And he can have nights where he does carry you offensively. He can have a 30 and 10 night. So I don't know how that happens, but I would really love to see DeAndre Ayton on the Warriors. Y'all might think I'm crazy, but I could see him on the Spurs. Again, we're not asking DeAndre Ayton to be franchise center. We're just asking him to fill a role, and he could play next to Wemby. I don't know. I could see it. I could see the Bucks if Brook Lopez leaves, but that's a little bit more of like, oh, we're depending on you. I don't know where that team would be, but I think DeAndre Ayton could be a very helpful player on a very good team, not on a team that is going to be relying on DeAndre Ayton, if you get what I mean. But speaking of the Warriors, Jordan Poole, who again was a good role player on a championship team, got traded, and it's pretty clear that Jordan Poole as your lead guard is probably not the way to go. But if you're a team that can buy low and put him in a winning environment next to other good players, I feel like it is worth the risk. And this one, I feel like I really don't have to explain because we've seen it work at the highest level. I feel like if you have another elite guard or an elite guard, putting Jordan Poole next to him would help a lot. I think of Minnesota, Anthony Edwards, Jordan Poole backcourt would be a little bit crazy, depending on how you feel about Jaden Ivey, his recovery, all that. I'm not saying they should give up on Jaden Ivey, but if they were iffy on that, Jordan Poole next to Cade, I would really like that. Pretty much what we've been seeing with Andrew Nembhard next to Tyrese Halliburton. Offensively, right? Defense is another story, but it would be an even more explosive version of that. So I would love to put Jordan Poole next to an elite backcourt member. I don't know where that might be. In a similar scenario, RJ Barrett. RJ Barrett is like the new Julius Randle. And that honestly might be a little bit disrespectful to Julius Randle, two-time All-NBA player Julius Randle. But what I mean is, like, no matter how good you play, no matter the numbers you put up, people are still gonna say, I don't want to build with that guy for whatever reason. Now I get some of the flaws in RJ's game, but I feel like if you put RJ next to an elite shot creator and let him play off of him, he's actually pretty good. And if you look at the numbers he puts up compared to the way people talk about him, it's kind of crazy. Now, I will say the number of teams that RJ fits compared to a Jordan Poole is less, because I like Jordan Poole either with a ball-dominant point guard or not. Like, I can see Jordan Poole play with Cade or play with Anthony Edwards. I can't really see RJ playing next to Cade. But if Ant is going to be this type of three-point shooter with this type of volume, I could see RJ fitting next to him. Now, having RJ and Julius, probably not going to happen. So yeah, finding the fit for RJ is definitely the toughest so far. A team I could really see going after RJ is the Clippers, but that's more so of a, we don't have any real young talent. Kawhi, James Harden are getting older. I could see RJ going to LA, having a little nice two-man game with Zubac. Now, what would that trade look like? I have no idea, right? So finding a home for RJ is a little bit difficult. There's going to be a lot of Raptors trade rumors coming up. They're apparently in the Kevin Durant, conversations. They were linked to Giannis. Who knows what's going to happen in Toronto? But moving on, this guy might be a little bit surprising to you that I'm even including him in this type of conversation. But how many years in a row did we go into a season looking at John Collins as the number 2 next to Trae Young? Kind of similar to Ayton, where he had that great playoff run. He was playing amazing defense, and it seemed like he had another step he could take and never really took that step. Gets traded to Utah and puts up pretty good numbers. Now, he only played in 40 games this year, but how much of that is Utah not playing their guys? I don't really know. But he put up 19 points and 8 boards this year while only playing 30 minutes per game. And I look at him and I think about what PJ Washington did for Dallas, really changed the complexion of that team, having that 4 that could really disrupt a lot of things on the court, that could score a little bit, hit a corner 3. And I think John Collins is an even better version of PJ Washington. That, again, a good team, he would look very good on that team. We're not asking you to be our number 2 like Atlanta was. We're asking you to play a role. And this is another guy where I look at the Warriors, right? Since they're so hell-bent on not having Kuminga on the team, if they can get John Collins, who puts pressure on the rim, is a better rebounder, is a better defender than a Kuminga, could play some small ball 5, could play him with Quentin Post, I think it would be a pretty great fit. And once again, I gotta remind you guys that I am not an expert on the cap or the CBA, but there is this weird rule where the Warriors can only take back half of Kuminga's salary in a trade. So again, that's why the DeAndre Ayton deal will never happen, at least not until the trade deadline, if that were to be a thing. But why I believe there might be something here with John Collins is because the Jazz are in a position where they can overpay for Kuminga's first year, right? They can make that first year $30 million and then make it a descending deal. So that makes the Warriors' outgoing salary a lot more, right? So that means they could take back more. And also, John Collins he has a player option. And that player option is for $26 million. So could you see a world where John Collins says, you know what, I'll opt out, and instead of $26 million, I'll sign a 2-year $46 million, and that little $3 million might be the difference in that trade being able to happen or not. I'm kind of just making that up in my head. I don't even know if the Warriors will be interested in John Collins, but the more I think about it, the more I like it. But those are the main guys here. Maybe Anthony Simons could be included in this, maybe even Emmanuel Quickly along with RJ. But the thing about these guys, most of them, is they're probably not going to cost much, but they could have a huge impact on your team. So while everybody's looking at Kevin Durant and Giannis and Sabonis and LaMelo and Ja, all these all-star players, you could sneak in and get your Aaron Gordon, get your Andrew Wiggins, and you're probably going to be able to get them on the cheap. So let me know what you guys think about these players. Is there a certain destination you like for any of these players? Is there someone else that would kind of fit what I'm talking about? But I'm really loving the idea of John Collins on the Warriors. I think that would be a huge move. That would help them out defensively. It would give them more size. They wouldn't get a real center, but they'd get another player that could play real center minutes. I don't know, I really like that. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Please like, comment, subscribe. It will mean the world to me on the road to 10,000 subscribers. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm out. Peace.